The No New Friends podcast is brought to you by the personal injury attorneys Kaufman and Lind at whenyouneedus.com. If you're injured in a car accident or any other injuries, give them a call 407-706-3535. That's whenyouneedus.com.
So I go
down.
onto the roller rink, and somebody immediately approaches me, and I thought they were coming to congratulate me. So I go to shake his hand. I'm like, I'm Chris Yaw.
You're like posing
Like,
for.
I think he's going to present you a big check, a photo opportunity.
I was like, I'm Chris Yaw, and he goes, I'm Chet, and I was like, oh, thanks. And then he started doing like the whole.
Thank you, Chet.
He started doing the whole like handshake thing where he brought my hand up and he tried to bring me in for a hug. And he just stared at me. He's like, "So what's up?" And I was like, "I'm Chris Yop." And then he goes, "What do you need?" And then the announcer was like, "Again, Chris Yop was on the prize." He's like, "Oh right, nice. I think you have to go over there."
Is that what he sounded like?
Yeah.
Was this down?
I
feel
swiftly
that's
exited the
definitely
roller
how
rink.
Yeah, wow.
And
How many people talk like that in New Jersey?
he was not from. I don't know where he was from, but he was not from New Jersey. And so I got my prize, and it was actually not even like the people that were announcing it had nothing to do with the prize. It was this third-party physical therapy place that did it. So I went over to that table where I actually did the raffle out, which would have made way more sense.
And now it's time for the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
That's right. You are listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted number 1 by our friends and family. We are the podcast for adults who like to laugh at adulting. If you'd like to connect with us on the Facebook, the Instagram, the YouTube, the Twitter, the TikTok, just visit our website while you're there. Check out our sweet merchandise and become a Clubhouse member. A friend with benefits. Join our Patreon. That's www.nonewfriendspodcast.com. And don't forget, please, vote for us for Orlando Weekly's Best of Orlando competition under the category Local Notables Best Local Podcast. And please share the good word of the No New Friends podcast. Tell all of your friends and family all about us so that we can grow this show. My name is Scott. I am the host. With me, as always, I am an architect for her pain. She's the queen of quarantine, Mary. Our other co-host, he is a LinkedIn expert, so he'll give you all sorts of unsolicited advice. He's our scumbag reselling hoarder, Chris.
They call me Dick, but you can call me Dick.
The Ghoulies.
It's
Every
the
time we
Ghoulies. You're
record.
right.
Oh my God.
Joe's favorite movie.
We also have from
I
the
remember that line.
Diz
I remember
His
that
podcast, and we've got a lot to talk to him about later in the show, but Diz His Joe is with us.
Hey, what's up, guys?
This is legal name too, actually.
Yeah, he just
Joe,
changed
yeah.
it.
I did change it like last week. I changed it.
It was just Diz His.
Yeah,
and
he's,
now it's just Diz His Joe.
So Mary, you've got younger kids. Your kids are the youngest out of, between all of us. So you
Not all of
just
them.
went on a play date?
No, okay, I didn't go on the play date.
not all
That
of
would have
them.
made it worse if I went. Okay,
Right.
look. Picture it, Sicily, 1928. Dexter has this friend that he met at school, I think, and this kid invited him to his birthday party, which is great. It's wonderful. I love when my children get invited to parties. We always go. Always go. If your child gets invited to a party, go. Go. Don't leave that kid hanging. Go. This kid's party is one that I wish we didn't go to. And by we, I mean I didn't actually go because I have raging anxiety. Typically, I'm not the one that takes the kids to the parties because then there's awkward small talk and I don't know how to behave. I don't know what to do. Anyways, this kid had an over-the-top birthday party. Like, I mean, personalized, Nerf-themed
Is that why
birthday
you didn't
party.
show up to Abby's
No, that was I think there was something else that happened. I don't know.
No,
I was probably drunk.
Joke.
I don't know.
She missed the joke.
Oh,
Completely missed the joke.
I did. Why? Because I don't know how to behave. I don't know. What was the joke?
No, over the top birthday party, and awkward, and you didn't want to
Look,
go.
no, I like coming to your birthday parties because you have mimosas, and then I get to see you make margaritas and stuff, and then I get to see you have other friends that aren't me.
You didn't
It's
invite
really
me,
fun.
Scott.
That's great.
Joe, that is absolutely not true.
Actually,
I
I think that
absolutely
you-
I know, you're
invited
right.
you.
You
I
invited
wasn't
me.
invited. I'm just kidding. I was.
You were.
I know. I think there was something
You-
else happening that day.
One of the kids got sick again.
No, we all had COVID. No, we all had the flu. Was that when we all had the flu? That was
Yes,
awful.
you all
It
had the
was great,
flu.
but it was awful.
Name the ailment you had.
I know. Just
you know,
roll the
every other
dice.
week.
I don't know.
That's when you had the monkeypox.
No, I had that
think.
last week.
Mary, you guys had the
Mary-
monkeypox.
That's new. It's still
The
new.
MP. Oh, you
Still
did?
new. It's still
Oh,
fresh.
okay.
You want to see my sores? You see my pustules? I'll take things not to
And
say
if you
on a
want to
first
see
date.
Mary's pustules, just join our Patreon and you can watch us record
You have to
live.
pay extra for that. If it's an infectious disease, double. Okay, so anyways, this kid's birthday party was so elaborate. Every kid got a backpack, their own Nerf gun, a bunch of ammo, like headbands. There was teams. Like, it was just over the top. So already I'm like, well, shit. Now my like, I can throw a damn good theme party. Scott, you remember the Alice in Wonderland party? That was great. I do a good job. I do a Mary.
Yeah, Mary,
good
did
job.
they also have a big red MAGA flag out front with all those guns they were
No.
handing out?
No, listen. So,
this
Dexter
Matt
had a
Gates
great
kid?
time. Wow. No, we can't talk about it because the mom's still underage. Okay, look, she's protected. She's a minor. Matt Gates kid.
The mom is a minor?
Yeah, Matt Gates is banging like 15-year-olds. Who knows?
Oh.
Yeah.
Pedophile joke. I get it.
Yeah.
Follow your own joke, Chris.
My
God.
Jesus.
Oh, anyways. Okay, can I finish? Probably not. It's fine.
Mary, the queen of interrupting, is asking us, can you let me finish a story without interrupting? Isn't it ironic? Continue, please.
Scott here's, can you let me finish all the time?
Look, I'm a lady. I'm used to being interrupted. That's a lie. I'm not a lady, but I am always interrupted. Okay, listen. So, great birthday party. Now I have a lot of expectations to live up to, but the kid's cool, right? Kid's fine. The mom somehow got my phone number. I'm still trying to figure out how. And text me like a novel, like a hello, Mrs. Reedy. We would like to invite, and like, I'm surprised doves didn't fly out, and it was like, we would like to cordially invite you to, but it was, we'd like to invite Dexter to come hang out with blankety blank. We
Was
just
like a
did
Hogwarts
some,
letter?
yes, kind of, basically, because someone did come hunt him down. They kicked down the front door and just took him. I'm assuming it was Hagrid. I don't know, but it's this long, just like a novel, like too many details. We don't have this going on this day or this day. We would love to take him to Planet Obstacle. We just finished some repairs on the pool, and he has a new tree house that he would love to show Dexter. And I'm like, there are a lot of things that I see wrong in this.
Also, I just started my period.
So many. Well, okay. Thank you for picking up on that. Because
Scott?
did you?
This your first one? We need to
Congrats,
have
dude.
the talk. I have a book.
I have a book.
Oh, I think Scott's on the same cycle as Chris though, so we have a couple of weeks.
Yeah. That's true.
So they've synced up. I respond to the mom
You've
finally.
synced up better than my internet connection.
It's not hard to do.
Bro, this is not.
I know, right?
Whoever said they need to watch Stranger Things, just tune back into that because it's gonna be a disaster. Okay. Anyways, so I finally agree to bringing Dexter over to his friend's house. However, I do have school a lot, and this mom was like, Thursday's the best day for me. Well, guess what? Thursday's the worst day for me because I, at the time, had class all day. Probably had like an hour-long block. And I'm like, unless you want my kid there at like 8 a.m., which I don't think you do. And she was like, well, anytime's fine. And I was like, could you not, though? And then she had Dexter's number and texted him. And then she texted me in the morning and was like, so did you decide if you were going to let Dexter come over?
Like
and I was
6 a.m. Just bring him over at 6
basically. And so I had finals last week, so I had a little longer of a break. And I was like, how about on my like break? In that like normal time that somebody would allow a child to come to their house, like, like 11. And so I get him there, and first of all, weirdest house I've ever seen. I really hope they don't listen to the podcast because, boy, Dexter likes going there, but I'm just shitting all over this experience. There's no real driveway. So if you know anything about me, I'm anxious. So before I go somewhere new, I want to like scope out the parking situation. I want to know what's happening so I know what to expect. I pulled up and I was like, I'm just in the street. And so I just had to leave my car like kind of like, they live in downtown Lake Mary. I don't know. It was very weird for me. Cool house. Huge tree house. That was a full apartment. It has AC. There were curtains. It had a sofa and a refrigerator. Dexter's moving in next week. I don't know.
Joe, there's probably a little door that you can come out of in your TikTok coming out of a door series.
Welcome to Narnia.
Sure, okay. Can you talk to them about that next time you go there, maybe?
I will. I'm not going to go there, but you can definitely go if you'd like.
Can you just drop me off there?
I don't want to become a lampshade.
Joe, she'll be texting you to have Nick over all day and giving you her whole life
That's
story.
true.
Okay, so I'm glad that you say that because I pull up with Dexter, have a full meltdown because I'm like, oh God, I'm just going to park here. This is it. This is what's happening. Fine. It's fine. Walk up. The first red flag was a literal red little sign thing in the corner of their door, notating the pets that they have in the home. 4 cats. They have 4 cats, and I guess they're alerting any type of delivery service. I guess that they have 4 cats. That's what it looked like.
Watch out for our killer attack
It
cats.
was just like cats here, cats at play. I don't know. It was just there.
They'd be like tigers or like panthers or something.
No, I don't think. I would say
You sure?
no. I'm not. I'm sure about nothing after this interaction. I'm sure about nothing. And so the kid comes and like greets Dexter, and Dexter's like, all right, Mom, like get the hell out of here. Like I'm almost 11, like stop embarrassing me. And I'm like smooching him on the face. And I'm like, all right, well, call me. And they shut the door and I was like, well, okay. So first of all, step 1, I'm a shit parent because I'm like, I didn't see the mom. I'm sure she exists. Go on in. No type of vetting
my God.
process. Like I said, though,
Oh my
Dexter
God.
did go to this birthday
so they
party.
Could be cooking meth. Like
No, it's Lake Mary. They're
They
not
could've-
cooking
it could've
meth.
been a
They
front.
probably have cocaine or a child trafficking ring. Who knows?
okay, then it could have been a
Pizzagate. I don't
front.
know.
It could have been a front for some child labor thing.
Okay,
for
go
all the
make me
production of
some
products in
money,
Lake Mary.
Dexter. I'm unemployed. Okay, go ahead. I'll shave a little off the top.
They're not getting paid.
I don't know, man. Just take my kid for a little bit. I don't care what's happening. Which leads me to my next point. He has been there before. An adult met another adult. But as I was walking away, I heard a yoo-hoo. And I shit you not, I wish I was making that up.
Help me.
I turned around and there was a lady. I guess she realized I dropped Dexter off and she came out. And I can tell you so many things about this person that I did not ask. So many details, so many things.
Did she tell you about her cycle?
No, actually, she had some reproductive issues, Joe. Thank you for being so insensitive about this matter. But she did make sure whenever I told her, I have 57 kids, she's like, well, I could only have 1. And then, gave me, a look. And I was like,
Oh, no.
So then my, rebuttal of, oh, you want to borrow some? Didn't go over as well as didn't land with that crowd. Didn't land, which was fine. Totally okay.
But I feel like you probably delivered it anyway because, you have a routine. That's how you get through your anxiety.
Yes, follow through.
You're gonna say the same jokes every
they're
time,
comfortable.
and it was just
I know it's not the right audience, but
you can borrow one.
Yeah, and it happened.
It'll make me feel better if I deliver the joke.
Yeah, and when I say I struggled through that interaction, when I left, I was like I needed, what can I do to can I jump out of my skin right now? Because it was, even walking away.
Luckily, those scrubs are so big, it was easy to slide out.
I wasn't wearing my scrubs. As I was walking away, though, she's like, well, schooling can be really tough. Just make sure you eat. And I was like, thanks, Mom. And
I made you a lunch. Here you go, Mary.
But it was just the strangest thing. And then as I was driving away.
Gluten-free, right?
I was like, well, and at one point, because I like to give a kind of just fair, not a warning, but just a heads up that sometimes Dexter can be overstimulated or he can have some challenges when it comes to sensory input. So And she was like, oh, he's on the spectrum. I had an idea. I just didn't want to say anything. And I was like, okay.
What?
Sounds good. She's like, well, I was a chaperone on a field trip, and so I knew. And I was like, all right, well, cool. Love that you're aware of that. So just like, if you need me to come get him, call your girl, but like, let me know what's happening. And I like tried to slide away. And then she told me her life story again, like take two. Anyway, so I'm driving away, go back to class, finish class. And I got a play-by-play update. Anytime Dexter ate something, drank something, I'm putting on sunscreen. I'm reapplying
Did you get a bowel update?
I don't think no, she didn't, which makes me feel a little better. But also, Dexter's a wild animal. He probably went and shit by the clubhouse. I don't know. Like, maybe she didn't know. But, oh my gosh. But then part of me was like, I was like, girl, unless he is hurt or I need to come get him, I don't need to know about it. I trust you. You're an adult. We're both adults.
Did you say that to her? Did you text her
No.
I trust you, someone that you've never met.
No, yeah. And honestly, I probably shouldn't have trusted her. I don't know. She seemed just crazy enough to trust, though. You know what I mean? Like how Donald Trump has all these followers. Like, right? Like he's just crazy enough that we're like, let's see where it goes. I don't know. Let's go on I'm on this train ride. Let's do it.
I just want to hear what he says next.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was. So things get better from here. What is my least favorite activity? Talking on the phone. Don't call me. Ever.
Podcasting.
Yeah, well, that's like second. I mean, I podcast a lot more often than I talk on the phone. And that tells you something. So I'm sitting waiting to, get my next 12-minute update on my lovely child. And she calls me. And I panicked.
Oh.
At first, I was like, maybe I cannot answer. How can I get out of answering this phone call? Can Zoe take the call for me? Is there another adult? Who can I give this to? And so I had to answer it. And it was her just talking, narrating the things she already texted me, but then kind of sliding in there that one of their other friends was there that lives by us. And they're going on vacation tomorrow, and then gave me the rundown of that. And, that they were kind of wanting the kids to be picked up by a certain time. And I was like, I am on my way now, and I'm going to pick up that other kid just to save him from whatever is happening right now. You tell the mom I'm on my way. And then I picked up the boys, and they seemed like they were okay. But I was like, can you show me on a doll if anything weird happened? I don't mean that. No, like, just, I don't. Everybody cool? Are we good? Like, as I'm driving, and they're both like, yeah, everything was fine. And by the time I got back home, I had like a triple tap text. Thank you so much.
Oh.
Send him back. We'll be back on this date.
And you hate double tap texts.
I didn't mean to breathe that hard. I was like, I didn't know how to appropriately respond.
I didn't mean to breathe that hard. That's what Dexter was saying because of the trauma that he went through over there.
So I made it through, and I interacted with that lady, and I did a good job. I did a very good job. And then Dexter today asked about that friend, and I was like, buddy, they're on vacation. They're not going to be back for you to go hang out. And he's like, oh no, I heard from his mom. They're back today. And I was like, what? No. So to be continued.
She's going to be wearing a Mary skin face very soon.
Guys, I'm just not made for it. I wish I was. I don't know where I missed out on that, like, really good parenting gene, but, like, something just, like, just out here doing my best, though. It's fine. They're all alive, so that's cool. It's fine. It's okay.
All right, awesome story.
Thanks.
You are listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back.
Listen to Keeping the Towel with Aunt Boogie on SoundCloud, Anchor.fm, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. A new episode is dropped every first and third week of every month. Once again, Keeping the Towel with Aunt Boogie. Wipe the blood, wipe the sweat, wipe the tears. But whatever you do, don't throw in your towel.
Hey guys, comedian James John, and you are listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. Also joined by Joe from the Diz His podcast. Joe, I got a question for you. So on Diz His podcast, you've been doing this for what, 4 years now?
Yeah, 4 years.
So have you ever had like a segment or different little bit or whatever that you did for a while and then never did again because you forgot about it? Like,
Yeah,
I know
a
you
bunch
guys
of them.
did Hidden Mickeys for a while now. I've started doing Hidden Mickeys, but like,
When's the last time you did a Hidden Mickey
One
for us?
I did one. For
That's
one
like a good
attraction
example
at a
right
time.
there. That's a good example.
Actually, you,
Great
Scott, you're the toxic one.
So I think I'm the problem because, you know, Mary, we've been doing this for a little over a year now, and actually a lot over a year. And
It's your fault.
it is my fault. But think about, like, we have podcast ADD. Think about
We
all
do,
the segments, all the
Is it just
segments that we.
podcast though? I feel like it's like my whole life.
Well, yeah, I feel like you can't blame that on me. I have ADHD. Like, that's who I am as a person, man. Like, so
Right.
why would our
But
art
let's-
not reflect, life? It should.
Yeah, I
There it
know.
is.
Yeah, but it's
That's
just
fine.
it's me too. I mean, I remember.
Oh, and so
when
now
we were
you're
doing 3
finally
episodes a
behind me
week.
too. It only took how long? Great. Just like
So
5
I
years.
remember when we were doing 3 episodes a week, and I was like, okay, on Tuesdays we're gonna do Game of Thrones recap. On Thursdays we're gonna do this, and then on Sundays this, and we never did that. We never ever did that.
Well, here's what
or
had
History
happened.
Time with Mary.
Here's what had happened. You got a
Well,
job.
you stopped watching Game of Thrones.
You got a job.
No, you got a job.
Yeah, you're right. I did.
So
Yeah,
can I let you know what I think happens?
go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So like you start out a podcast, right? And you think that, oh, how am I going to fill this time? And you don't know how you're going to fill this time. But what happens is as you're, podcasting more and more, you just fill your own time. So you don't need
Right.
those other segments anymore, right?
Yeah, no, you're right. Or we just forget about doing.
No,
it.
I think we
You're
just have
giving us
enough
too much credit.
witful banter now that we don't need scheduled. We don't need it. I mean, we probably need it, but we don't use it.
Yeah, you're right.
No,
But History Time with Mary, we did
lasted-
that twice.
it was twice. I thought.
We did it twice. I only remember one. I only remember the one on Martha
I don't
Stewart and
remember.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. What was the other one on?
Yeah, I remember that one. I don't know. I don't
Look,
remember.
Hey, the new school year
And then
is
we had-
starting, so Carline Chronicles is going to be on and
Carline
poppin'.
Chronicles can come
Yeah,
back.
but I can't do it.
Yeah, we had Carline
Conspiracy Chris, what happened
Chronicles.
in that segment?
There's not school. That's a seasonal.
stopped-
That's a seasonal
She
one.
stopped parenting and she got to work.
Wow.
She stopped parenting and she got a job.
I still parent, kind of. Yeah, I made them ride the bus like peasants.
When are the political midterms?
It's coming soon.
Joe, it's coming. The political midterms are coming up soon. Well, then we
Yeah,
can
I
bring
think
back
so,
Chris's
yeah.
conspiracy corner because Republicans are set to take over the House.
Yes, we can. We can bring it back. Chris's
Chris,
Conspiracy
they've had
Corner,
the
another
house
great
the whole
example. We
time.
did.
But they're gonna start they're gonna take over the world. I think New World Order.
Well, there we go. That's a
Joe's
start.
done more Chris's Conspiracy Corners than
That
Chris
is true.
has.
That's true.
Because he did the one on the CERN machine, and then Tuberculosis Susie on the Carousel Progress. And then what else? We did.
It's a thing, Mary.
Mary doesn't listen to the episode. Mary doesn't listen to any episode, but especially not the ones that she's not on.
Yeah.
Because it's all about me, and I'm not on there. It's not my name. I'm not going to listen.
That's a very good impersonation
Was
of
she like-
Mary.
That's
Thank
not.
you.
Yeah, it did sound just
No,
like
I'll
that
be
sounds
here
like
all
Willy Wonka. That's like Wonka. Who's that? Ivanka? What's her name? The
Ivanka.
girl who's always wants the goose.
Ivanka Goose.
Veruca Salt.
Yeah, that person.
Oh, Mary could be
There's a whole
Veruca
conspiracy
Salt.
about that too.
Why
Yeah,
would
yeah.
I be Veruca Salt out of all of them? I'm more Augustus Gloop if I'm any of them. Okay.
No, Veronica. It's Veronica, Mary.
It's not Veronica. Then let's hear what else. We had bad movie reviews, which we never did.
I'm so happy you didn't bring that up because I did not want to watch that.
Oh, he's all that.
Oh yeah.
You could have said something.
There's no way I was
just-
gonna watch
I
it.
just knew the way that we say we're gonna use segments and it never happens. So I was like, I'm just gonna let it Just let
and just
nature
let it
take
die.
its course.
Let it die. Scott, if I don't listen to episodes,
That's
why would
funny.
I watch a whole movie? That doesn't even make sense. It's way longer. It's much more of a commitment.
Right.
No, thank
We
you.
did that for 1 week. Remember, Mary?
Yeah.
I watched Zetus Lapidus.
You watched
or,
Xenon,
what
Girl
was
of the
it?
Zetus
21st century.
Lapidus?
Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century, and you watched Howard Stern's Private
Yeah,
Parts.
I did.
And we were able to talk about it. That was a fun
Scott,
segment. And then we were supposed
Didn't
to
you
watch like
Zetus Lapidus? instead?
no, stop.
It's a good movie. Me and Joe actually recreated that movie when he was up here.
We did.
Talk about that.
When I was up in New Jersey. Didn't go so well.
Mhm.
So anyway,
butt
so
kinda
Mary
still
and I
hurts from it.
we were supposed to watch Earth Girls Are Easy. Earth Girls Aren't Easy.
Oh, with Jim Carrey?
Yeah, you know this movie too. Like we
Yeah,
were supposed to
that's a good
watch that
movie.
movie and then
We
discuss it.
didn't. Did we?
But
Either
we
of
never
us
did.
watch it ever?
No, we never did another movie after that.
We can
It was,
discuss
That's a good movie
that
with John
crazy
Stamos.
movie that you made us watch at your house that one time, the Wizard of Oz 57th
Return to Oz?
spinoff.
We did a whole episode on that.
We did
Mary.
that on Diz. We did a
God,
whole
that
episode
was
of that
so
on Diz
weird.
His.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. That
Thanks
was a
for
weird
listening.
Movie. You're welcome.
Yeah. Wow.
I can be a.
Okay, so bad parent and bad friend.
Oh wow.
Checking them all off the list.
Man. That's messed up, man.
So anyway, any other segments that we were gonna do?
Just
Strange
gonna-
news is a, sometimes we
So my
do it.
strange
So, oh,
news
you're
is
trying to close
okay.
your
Yeah, I
laptop.
was gonna just leave. I was just gonna.
Strange news is the one segment that has lasted the
Yeah.
longest, I think. But it's sporadic when we do it. And then the what's next on Diz His, that one is an every week thing. So we're doing good with that.
You're welcome, Joe.
Chris's Cliff Notes, we've done like 3, so that's like our
Thank
that's
you.
like our longest running segment.
That is our longest running segment. It's because that's my favorite part. I look forward to
in your show.
Chris's
I mean, how
Cliff
long has
Notes.
your show been going on for? That's a big segment. One long segment.
That's true. Thank you, Joe. Joe gives us too much credit.
So deep.
If I feel like we're like the our podcast is the podcast that sits by itself at lunch, and then Joe comes over and be like, oh no, you got you're it's
We're the-
good. It's
Are
good.
we the pity podcast?
I would sit with
is
you
that
guys.
what this
Yeah.
is?
Yeah, Joe comes over. and
Yeah,
just
I would.
like,
I would sit with you guys for sure. We can like trade lunch.
Wow.
Did you ever do that as a kid? Actually, trade lunch?
Nah,
No.
my lunches were so good.
You
Nah,
kids
man.
don't do that
I traded
anymore.
items.
Allergies
I traded
mostly,
items.
but I traded lunch. Yeah, man.
Did you?
Yeah, how do we
Yeah.
have more allergies now than we did like
Science, Scott.
20, 30
we're
years ago?
starting
Like-
to realize how to
vaccines.
test things and see if
Oh,
people
the vaccines
actually have
cause-
them.
Yeah, the vaccines
Allergies?
cause it.
That
Oh,
too.
Okay, vaccines cause allergies. Got it.
You heard it here first on not our podcast.
I think it was Obama.
It was Harambe, first
Obama
of all.
created
Mm,
allergies.
Everything went down.
I think it all started with when Harambe died.
That's what I just said.
We don't talk about that.
Is that's what you said?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
It must be the thing over your ears.
So, yeah. Chris, you wanted to talk about roller derby.
Oh yeah. So
What a transition, Scott.
Oh.
Brilliant. It was so smooth.
I didn't have a smoother transition.
so good.
That topic fell
It was
flat on its
we
face.
tried. We were
Fast and
trying to revive it for
Furious.
like 2 minutes, and it just nothing was happening.
fast.
But
and
you know what else
furious.
is
It
fast?
wasn't
Like
happening.
Robert
That
Downey. Go ahead.
that fell flatter than Joe's jokes.
When did I make a joke?
Nobody ever knows.
No one knows.
So roller derby. So
That's how good my jokes are. It's like you don't even know when I'm making it.
my cousin's wife invited me to roller derby, and my cousin's wife, aka our number one fan, aka Cara, who is a Patreon of ours, she does roller derby, and for a couple years, again, I hate to bring this up because I don't like to be like a doctor or a teacher, but there was this virus that went around and shut a lot of stuff down, COVID-19, because of
There's a virus that went around.
It's a long story. Guy ate a bat. It's a long story, Joe. So
Was his name Meatloaf?
Joe, listen. No, Joe, you are not allowed to make fun of people taking COVID seriously. I remember I was driving to St. Augustine to pick up my daughter.
gosh. Chris is
and
trying
he's
to
like,
tell a
hey,
story.
what? No, well, hold on. You settle down, sir.
Sir, calm down.
He's like,
Sir?
my house is on the way. Sir, calm down. He's like, why don't you stop by? I'll stand on one driveway. You can stand on another driveway, and we can hang out for about a half an hour.
That's not what happened. That's
That
not
is
First of all, he said
exactly
only
what
15
happened.
I was
minutes,
working,
okay?
man.
Because 30 minutes was too long.
I can attest to that. So
I was working.
So anyway, virtually. So I went to I went to a roller derby game. I'm still learning on Sunday.
Wait, were you playing in it or you just watched?
No, but I think I'd be a pretty good roller derbier. And I said what she first of all
roller derby.
I don't know what the I'm learning, Joe. I don't know what the correct terminology.
You should
a roller
Google it
derby.
like I
don't
did with
know.
a Wavos. You should look it up like I did. Just Google it.
I do have a couple dilemmas, but so I need better health insurance first because I'm going to get knocked around. And I said that to my cousin and her wife. I was like, listen, I need better health insurance first. But after I get better health insurance, I want to try this out. I think so. There's people that block and there's people that get through the blockers. And all the little guys are some of the best, what they call jammers. So
you are a jammer.
I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna try it out.
You have a low center of gravity, Chris. You're made for this.
I know, and that's all these big guys are trying to get through. First of all, Cara
and also the way you say
shout
health insurance, it really just.
Oh my gosh!
For me,
first of all, shout out to Cara. She won the MVB Most Valuable Blocker. She's really good. Like I hope I'm never on the opposite team from her.
Hold on.
I'll just
I'm not trying to be mean. So she's bigger.
No.
If she's blocking?
No, she's not. She's just really good.
So it's like the second place person, a beta blocker. That's a healthcare joke, guys.
No, she's really really good.
How many blockers versus how many jammers are there?
There's 4. So there's 8 people that are blocking and lead blocking essentially, and there's 2 jammers. So one person from each team tries to score, and you go around in laps. Wow. And when you pass a blocker, you score a point. So you can score 4 points per lap, right? And I'm learning a lot, but so
that's a lot to keep up with. I feel
it's a lot. It was very overwhelming when I first got there, but it was so fun to watch. I can't wait to go to more. Now here's my dilemma: if I do become a roller derby athlete. I don't know what the terminology, football player, basketball player, roller derby player? I don't know. So if I become one of these, I need a nickname because no one's called by their names. They're all nicknames. Oh. So Cara's roller derby name is Whiskey Chaser. And then her number is 750. Oh, nice. Yeah, her number is 750.
Okay.
I think
that's cute.
So, that's cute. It should be Cock Chris.
Pretty cool. What should it be, Joe?
Cock Chris.
I was thinking about Rusty Cunts.
Oh, that's
or Dick Trickle Jr.
That's getting... Dick Trickle Jr.
I like Dick Trickle Jr. a lot. Because Dick Trickle, famous NASCAR driver, doing laps around. Yeah. Dick Trickle Jr. Yeah. And then my number could be 6969.
That's pretty good.
It can only be 4 digits.
I would buy your card.
See? I think I have a...
Would you sign it for me?
I would sign it. I would sign it. I'm not gonna go further with that. I'm not mature
enough for this conversation.
But I hope to. Rusty Cunts is not a derogatory term, by the way. It's an actual name. He was a baseball player.
That's his name. That's an actual name.
Yeah, that was not a joke.
Still, I
hope
not.
You know.
There's
K-U-N-T-Z.
Come on, this is a serious segment here. This is serious.
So I think Dick Trickle Jr. might be the...
These are people's names,
you are
Mary.
so
Calm
immature.
Down. Jesus,
you are so
what is
immature.
wrong,
coming from somebody who wants to name themselves.
Future nurse of America, ladies and gentlemen, right here. Laughing at people's names. Do we laugh at the fact that you're named like your name is a 90-year-old woman's name? Like, come on, show some respect, okay? All right, just change your dentures and stop making fun of people's names.
Before we wrap this up, I do want to say that I did enter a raffle and I won a vibrating massager.
Oh,
yeah. It's multi-purpose, I assume, but I use it for my muscles.
At the roller derby place?
Yes, it was awesome. I didn't know what to do when I won the prize, so I just went right onto the rink. And I went over. I wish I was joking.
Did anyone hit you? Did anyone hit you?
No, because they were like, Chris Yob, you want? I was like, oh my gosh, I'm chewing my pizza, and I'm like, I got up immediately. I got up immediately because I didn't want to lose out on this prize. It's a really nice. It's like
it's something you can resell.
Because somebody else is gonna get up and take it.
I was nervous, Mary. I didn't want someone else to take it. I was seizing my moment, so I legit went out.
I love when the one anxiety person makes fun of the other anxiety person.
No, it's not making fun of. It's because I understand what he's saying.
So I go out and
slam my pizza down and rip my shirt off.
Hold on. So is that all it takes is you to win a prize? Because we'll do raffles every week.
Scott, you don't think I'm a winner? I would never get any of those things. It's fine.
Oh my gosh, Mary, you just won a vibrating massage gun. So I go onto the roller rink, and somebody immediately approaches me, and I thought they were coming to congratulate me. So I go to shake his hand. I'm like, I'm Chris Yaw.
You're like posing
Like,
for.
Like he's gonna present you a big check, a photo opportunity.
I was like, I'm Chris Yaw, and he goes, I'm Chad, and I was like, oh, thanks. And then he started doing like the whole.
Thank you, Chad.
He started doing the whole like handshake thing where he brought my hand up and he tried to bring me in for a hug, and he just stared at me. He's like, so what's up? And I was like, I'm Chris Yop. And then he goes, what do you mean? And then the announcer was like, again, Chris Yop was on the prize. He's like, oh right, nice. I think you have to go over there. And I
is that what he sounded like?
Yeah.
Was this down?
I swiftly exited the roller rink.
Yeah, wow.
And
how many people talk like that in New Jersey?
He was not from. I don't know where he was from, but he was not from New Jersey. And so I got my prize, and it was actually not even like the people that were announcing it had nothing to do with the prize. It was this third-party physical therapy place that did it. So I went over to that table where I actually did the raffle out, which would have made way more sense. But I got it, and I sent a picture. And funny you said to resell it. The first thing my dad says is sell it.
Wait, what kind of massage? I just got one of those massaging guns. Actually,
it's like a Theragun type thing.
Is it like the one that's
probably
like?
Bought it from Chris.
Like I have
it does.
one like that, man. It's
only use it on your back, Mary. Trust me. It was a very expensive medical bill. So we'll be right back.
You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. When we come back, Joe's going to tell us about his lovely weekend with Chris, and also Chris and I are going to hold him accountable for something. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back.
Do I also get $50?
Hi, this is comedian Miguel Colon, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. Don't forget to vote for us for Orlando Weekly's Best of Orlando competition under the category Local Notables Best Local Podcast. That is vote.orlandoweekly.com. We are joined by a special guest from the Diz His podcast, Joe. Now, Joe, right now you are where? It looks like you're in a mental hospital.
I know.
But where are you really?
I am in Pennsylvania. I'm in the Poconos. I've been away from my house for about 87 days. I miss my cat.
You have been. This is like the longest vacation ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been gone
Why would
for
he mute his...
Huh? Go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, you muted yourself while you're talking. Continue.
I did. Well, my son walked in. He was wondering if I was still recording. But yes, I am away in the mountains, enjoying the wild fresh air with all the crazy mountain people up here. Today I actually found a Bigfoot encampment, which was super cool. I kind of tried to walk. Yeah. So on my property, I was kind of exploring, right? And there was like a hut, made out of trees, out of sticks. And I kind of walked up to it, and I think a Bigfoot made it.
Those are portals,
okay.
Usually. So be careful.
Yeah. Well, I tried to go through it, but everything just fell down. I tried to go through it, Mary. The portal.
That's funny.
Yeah, you're not a chosen one.
Didn't really work out
I'm really
for me.
Sorry.
That could be it.
Maybe some fairy
So while you were up there, you got to hang out with Chris for a little bit.
I did. I got to hang out with Chris, and Chris kind of took me around to all of his little places where he goes shopping.
We went to the thrift shop.
He needed a belt.
The famous thrift shop.
Yeah, but the day started out with us going to the thrift shop, and I needed a belt.
Is that like BJ's?
Whenever I go out,
thrift shop.
That was also
secondhand.
But
I get it. Hand me down.
I always forget my belt. Whenever I go out somewhere, I always forget my belt. So I had to go get a new belt. And we kind of, when we went there to the thrift shop, Chris had to buy stuff. He had to go through all his like normal like little routine.
Did you have like
Can't
the
pass up a good
scanner
deal.
and stuff? You did the whole thing?
Oh no, I didn't need to. I just have the eye now.
You already have the eye now. Wait,
You have
I
the
have
eye,
a
you don't even
question
need
though.
the
What's
scanner.
the belt thing? If you don't have a belt, you can't go to you can't function? I never wear belts. Is that a thing? Scott, do you wear a belt all the
Well,
time?
my pants are like
Yeah, I
my
have to
pants
wear
were
a belt.
falling down.
I have to wear a belt.
Look, because you know how I like to carry stuff, right? So I had my wallet, and I had like 8 other things
Oh,
in my
yeah.
in my
Just
pants.
carry
cargo
your
pockets
backpack
were
that you
heavy,
can
so-
just put a USB in. You can put a USB and a shoestring in it. You don't need a belt. Just carry a backpack. I don't understand.
I know. I didn't have my backpack. So
Interesting.
we got a belt, and what did we do next, Chris? We went to we went to Camden. So Chris came down a couple months ago, right? He came down, and we took him to Disney World. We took Universal Studios, went to Disney Springs, all these like
Disney
super
Springs.
Disney
Did
Springs, all these
karaoke
nice
at my
places.
mansion.
Exactly, right? Chris takes me to Camden, and I'm walking around like the streets of Camden, like trying not to get shot.
So first of all, for people who don't know,
So you got to experience Grand Theft Auto in
hold on,
person
hold on,
is
hold-
actually what he did. You're welcome.
Joe, there's not much in Jersey Chris could show you that's going to be worth a damn or nice or whatever. Like, what are you expecting?
the
Well, that's true. But listen, this is the first time Chris is like, "Oh, listen, we're gonna go to this station right here." I'm
Train
like, "Okay, are
station,
you like
right.
familiar with this station?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm familiar. I've been here before. Never been there before. We had no idea where we were
He's
going."
like, I've heard of it. I don't know. It's
there
fine.
was-
I'm like, "Yeah, I feel safe."
So I feel
listen.
listen. I since being on anxiety
and then
medicine.
hold
go
on.
ahead.
And then he's on anxiety medicine, so he feels fine about everything. We could be almost dead, and he'll be like, I'm on my anxiety
what?
medicine. It's fine, no
gonna
big
shake
deal.
out okay.
I'm not on anxiety medicine. I feel like I'm about to die. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, you
Sorry.
felt like you were
Chris,
about to die because you were right. You were about to die. Someone did follow us down the subway. Very scary
You're probably a
looking creature.
fan. I don't know. You know what? But if you were Scott, you would have turned around and been like, "Hi, have you heard of the No New Friends podcast?" And that's like
Absolutely.
dead immediately.
Absolutely.
Like, no.
about halfway down, Chris is like, "Is that guy still following us?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Listen, I wasn't gonna turn around. I know better. So anyway, I'm taking Joe on the train into Philly because it's really annoying to park in Philly. It's $30 to park. So let's just take the train, a couple dollars. So Camden is right across the river from Philly. So my sister went to school in Philly and she took the train from Camden to Philly every day. Well, there's a couple stops in Camden. I had no idea. So I went to the very last stop before Philly. And apparently that was not the nice stop. This was not a train station. This was, I had to find, first of all, there was no parking because it's not a train station. It's a subway. So I had to find a random parking lot to park my car in, which I parked next to, all the really other nice cars that were there, right, Joe? All the,
They were nice cars, yeah. Except for the guys like walking around smelling like drugs.
there was,
You smell that weed? He's like,
yeah, very shady looking individual, as soon as we pulled in.
Well, it's not only one individual.
To which Joe said, "Are you sure you want to leave your car here?" And to which I replied, "That's what insurance is for." So we get on the train, which I've never been to this station, and we go downstairs. Yeah, somebody follows us. I walk fast. We get through the turntables. We're on the train. And very very smooth ride, right, Joe?
Yeah, it was nice.
It
was nice.
It was smooth. Because the way I remember it was such a rough ride and so rocky that you were waiting for Doc Ock to burst through the door.
I did. I was. But I was waiting for. I was waiting. This was my time to become a superhero. Like if Doc Ock was gonna come busting through the door, I was ready to fight.
No,
him
you weren't. You
and
had no
die.
belt.
I did. I did have a belt.
You would have been
Oh, I did have a
pantsed
belt at that
immediately.
That would have scared him. My pants would have. I would have stood up.
Look,
my
I
pants
have
would
my
have fell
other
down.
ock,
He would
my
have ran away.
limb. I don't.
And just so that you can set
He can be. That's his superpower. He's micro penis man.
How do you
Joe,
know,
just so you can
Scott?
set the scene for everybody. What was that
Scott knows.
smell that you got? Joe, if you could set the scene for everybody who hasn't had the luxury of taking the train, what did the station smell like?
Oh, like pee. It smells like pee.
Yeah.
It smells the
Really
same.
nice, warm.
Well, at one point, this is like later on in our trip, but we're walking and Chris has some liquid drip on him. And I'm like, dude, I think he got peed on. Like, I should. He goes, no, that's just the smell of Philly. I'm like, okay, that's understandable.
He's like, it smells like pee here, dude. I think you got peed out. And that's just natural
It's
scent.
just the aroma.
We
environment.
we waited in line for cheesesteaks. First of all, this was 3 o'clock.
Like 3
this
hours.
was like 3 o'clock, and we're both starving.
I thought I was waiting in line for Flight of Passage.
It was we get in line. I said it should only be 10 minutes. It was 40 minutes, and we got a cheese.
It was worth it.
We had a lot of fun. We ate cheesesteaks, and we went to a donut place and carried 5 pounds of donuts back through the 100. Joe came up during the heat wave, so we were walking in the streets of a city which is very hot in like 100+ weather, carrying these donuts. And but you know what was nice was Joe actually brought Mickey Mouse with him.
I did. And we're sitting there walking back, and we see a little mouse kind of run like in the mall.
Yeah.
That's actually really nice. We saw like a mouse kind of
Yeah.
running down the hallway.
He had a nice home.
And Chris had to use
Like
the
you were at
restroom.
home, yeah. It's nice.
He had a nice
That's good.
home.
Yeah, I did.
It's good.
I yelled Mickey, he didn't answer.
No,
he didn't
he
turn around.
kept running.
Chris went to go find him, though.
Okay,
I
but
did.
like if you're doing hood rat shit out of town, you don't want people to call you by your name. Don't you call him out like that?
That's
God.
true. That's
He's
true.
trying to live his life.
I feel kind of bad about it now.
Yeah, you should.
It was
You
it was
should.
a all in all, it was a really fun time. Wish we had more time,
Yep.
but now he has to.
Yeah, me
he's
too.
stranded up in the woods.
Bigfoot.
But hopefully you get to come down in a couple months.
Yeah,
right?
I'm hoping to come down in the fall sometime. I do have a confession, and I didn't bring this up to Joe when he was here because it's a little embarrassing. But I think I know the reason why he fled New Jersey so quickly. Scott, I think that it was because of a gentleman's agreement of some sort that we made with him that he might have
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah, so real quick, I'm trying to pull it up on Spotify. It's at okay, there we go. It's at 17 minutes.
So
and
you guys are
9
like super
seconds.
excited about this, right? And listen, I feel bad for you guys. Let me explain why, right? Because I feel like you guys are super excited about this because you guys don't win that often. I could have gave you guys this at $50, and we could have called it. Like I could just give you guys both $50. You guys won the bet. I feel like you guys don't win very often, so.
All right,
saying
so
you
for
guys
those
a
of you who
lot.
forget, or Mary who hasn't listened to this episode, I just want to refresh
I think Mary did. I think
everybody's
she has
memory
listened to it.
real quick. No, she hasn't. Real quick on the episode, The Avengers Are Done, with special guest from the Diz His podcast, Diz His Joe. This is at the 17-minute, 9-second area, so here you go.
But there's no more Avengers movies coming out. Like there's no more movies coming out that are Avengers. There's no more movies that are coming out that are Avengers.
That have been announced yet. No, they haven't been
Yeah.
announced yet, but they will come out.
You could be right, but I don't think they're going.
I
to.
am right.
I hope you're right. I hope you are right. But I don't think there's going to be any more Avengers.
Trust
movies.
me.
Because
Trust me,
okay,
we're
I
right.
hope so.
Yeah, we're right.
Okay, I hope
Li-
so.
li- okay, hold
Take
up,
us a
hold
break,
up.
Scott. I'm getting pissed off.
I know. I'm very frustrated right now. But listen, Chris, you and I can capitalize on this, okay?
Okay.
All right. Joe, Chris and I right now will bet you $100 that in the next 10 years there will be another
You say
Avengers
10 years?
movie in theaters.
How about make it 50 in 5 years and we call it a deal
Sure.
right now on the show.
50 in 5 years done. All right.
Okay, right? Yeah, right. You call it right now. So I get 50 from you, Scott, and I get 50 from Chris, right? And then I
Yes.
give you both 50 each.
Yes.
Yes.
There's no way in 5 years. It takes 3 years to film the movie.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, I'll
Takes
take the
90
deal.
days.
You
Not
already
anymore.
took it.
CGI cuts down
Takes
the time
90
in half.
days. Takes 90 days.
So you made the deal. You guys made it on air. 100%.
Listen,
we did.
listen. Guess what? Because if
Okay.
it gets put into production in the 5th year, hey, that's coming.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, I'll give it to you. The
Yep.
next,
And
like,
if we're
the-
wrong, I'll just cut this part out of the episode.
Yeah, never happened.
I have it saved. I don't have it saved on the show, okay?
So, just to recap. So, Joe says the Avengers are done. They're done. Everything's going to be on Disney Plus. They're not going to be in movie theaters anymore. The Avengers are done. There's not going to be any more Avengers movies. And I look at Chris and I say, Chris, this guy is insane. Let's make some money off of this because we know there's going to be Avenger like it's building up towards another Avenger.
But we don't
movies.
know, but go ahead.
We do know. Okay, so the president of Marvel Studio gets up and says, not only is there going to be one more Avengers movie coming out in 2025, there's going to be 2 Avengers movies in the same year coming
When,
out in
2025?
2025.
It's gonna get pushed
which
back,
is,
Scott.
But Chris, real quick, I just want to do the math real quick. So we made that bet in June of 2022.
Correct.
Okay, so we said it within 5 years. So they're coming out with these movies in 2025. How many years is that?
All right, so let's see. It's 2022. So let's see. 23, 24, 20. Oh, wow.
27.
Scott, 2025 is only 3 years away.
Only 3 years away.
God.
Which
Okay,
he
listen,
said
hold on one
makes
second.
it takes 3 years to make the
Oh,
movie.
that's right. Maybe I guess they started making them already. I guess they're filming right now.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Wow.
I guess so.
No. First off, I don't want to see an Avengers with Frog Boy and Gopher Guy. Okay.
No, it's
I don't
gonna
wanna
be
see
it's gonna be
Dr. A.S.
Thor.
Muncher.
It's gonna be Thor. It's gonna be Daddy Strange.
I
It's
don't
gonna
think
be
so.
Spider-Man.
No
It's gonna
way.
be Hulk.
Scott,
Absolutely.
Scott.
Then you'll
Scott,
have
no, you have to
She-Hulk.
stop. You have to
Go
stop.
ahead.
Joe's embarrassed. He doesn't have the money to go see the Avengers movies. I just inherited $50. And maybe you could pitch in. We could buy Joe a ticket to go see the Avengers movie when it comes out. I think he's low on money.
Listen, Chris, you need to come down for those movies because I'll pay for your tickets.
You already
That's
did.
included in the $50.
It's included. Okay.
Oh, but wait. You didn't win the bet yet. You guys are acting like you won the bet. You guys didn't win yet.
Yeah, you're right.
Well,
Sure.
but you're right. You're right. Joe is going to go to Wuhan, China, and then find another animal to bite the head off, just so we could start a global pandemic, so that he doesn't have to lose this bet.
You listen. You're giving me some really good ideas, and I'm actually here in Pennsylvania, and there's animals everywhere.
He's
I can just
gonna
do it
bite
here.
a Bigfoot.
go to
He's
China.
gonna
Go to-
put his head in that portal and just drag something out. Way to go,
He's
Scott.
gonna go to
Good
Jersey and
idea.
bite a head off of a rat. It'll be instead of the
A chipmunk.
the China flu, it'll be the Jersey flu.
This is where Lyme disease came
I
from.
think Jersey flu comes
New
from
Jersey.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, in New Jersey, Lyme disease came
It's
from
also chlamydia.
from here.
So anyway, the podcast god smiled on us because Joe, less than a month ago, a little bit more than a month ago, says the Avengers are done. No more Avengers movies. Kevin Feige says, "Hold my beer. We've got 2 Avengers movies coming out in the next 3 years." It was perfect
Obviously,
timing.
listen, I'm just gonna say you're welcome, guys. Everyone who's
Thank you.
I know
Thank
you have
you.
so many Marvel fans that listen to the show, Scott. You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, Chris, you got some Chris's Cliff Notes.
I do. So let's take it back to where we all started. Segment 1. Mary got frustrated at an invitation that was too long because she didn't want to read it. For those who don't know, Mary's in nursing school, which now worries me. I'm sorry, but if you have a pre-existing condition that spans longer than like 2 sentences and Mary's your nurse, you're So... Mary talked about a little note that was left on a door to warn people about their 4 cats. I think that's a great idea for people to, warn people about things like that. I bet Rachel wished that Scott was wearing his 4 inches warning label on their first date.
Dang, I can attest to that.
So, for listeners that aren't a Patreon member, during the break, Scott was talking about how much he loves the platform that we record on called Riverside. He states that, quote, the pros outweigh the cons, and it works sometimes, but it's good enough, which is exactly how his wife describes his penis.
Oh, snap.
So, just now, we brought up the famous bet, and Joe is denying that he lost the bet after there was a clear evidence that he lost. The officials of the studios came out and confirmed the results, but Joe said he was unwilling to accept them. Joe, you might have lost the bet, but don't give up hope, because with that mentality, you have a real shot at a presidential run. And lastly, we didn't talk about this, but on our trip to Philly, Joe wore a Knicks hat. New York Knicks. Big rivals of...
Whoa. A Mets hat.
Mets hat,
First
same
off,
thing.
Mets,
Even
New York
worse.
Mets, okay.
So he wore a Mets hat. It said blue and orange, not good in Philly. I warned him about it, but I guess since he's from Florida, I should have explained it a little better. So let me try to explain it now. It's offensive, like wearing a hat with a Confederate flag. Oh, that's not a good example. It's like wearing an All Lives Matter shirt. Wait, I'm sorry. That's not good either.
Still not.
Sorry, let me put it a little more Florida for you. It'd be like wearing an Obama hat in Polk County.
First of all,
Those are my clip notes.
They get better and better
Yeah, that was a good
every
one.
week. Fantastic job, Chris.
That's the one that gets us canceled.
Who's gonna cancel
What are you guys going on?
guys?
No
Polk
one.
County.
It's just something that we say on Real Laughs. Ken
Yeah.
Miller says it all the time. If you'd like to connect with us or check out our sweet merchandise, join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits. That's our Patreon. Just visit our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. All of our links are there. Please vote for us for Orlando Weekly's Best of Orlando competition under the category Local Notables Best Local Podcast. You have between now and August 31st to vote for us. On behalf of Mary, Chris, and Joe, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.